Hero, the four of them movies that I have by Mark Wahlberg. I know altogether I got at least up to 24 movies by him, if not more than 24, including the Italian Job movie, plus the Pain and Gain movie that him and Dwayne The Rock Johnson play in. And of course the other movie by Mark Wahlberg called The Gambler. And the other movie called The Fighter as well. Sure enough, here's two of the good old stories by Adam Sandler, Big Daddy, and the Bedtime Stories That's Forever an Amazing Walt Disney movie. Big Daddy won't never get old of watching why it's a goofy movie from what goes on. Sure enough, here goes some movie that I have that has to do with Jesus Christ slash about heaven. Here go two other stories I also got that has to do with heaven, called Heaven is for Real and Miracles from Heaven. I believe all the stories about heaven, plus the stories of Jesus Revolution and Son of God are all amazing movies. Here's up to four of them movies I had by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, even though I got up to at least between 20 to 25 movies by him, including all first to 9 or 10 of the Fast and Furious movies, plus the one called The Jungle Cruise that's an amazing movie. The Hobbs and Shaw, Jumanji, The Next Level, and the Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and the Skyscraper are all amazing movies by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, besides all the Fast and Furious movies and Jungle Cruise. And of course his other movie called Black Adam that I also have. I even have the other movie by him called The Game Plan. Sure enough, I love the story about the Flash, this movie, plus the series of the Flash that won't never get old of watching. The Flash is one of my favorites to watch out of all the superheroes that there are. Sure enough, here we go, two of the movies I have by Johnny Depp, like I mentioned, about Edward Scissorhands and Alice in Wonderland. I even have up to 8 other movies by Johnny Depp, including Alice Through the Looking Glass, and all 5 of the first first 5 movies of the Pirates of the Caribbean, like I already said once. And of course the Benny and June movie by him, and the other movie called The Secret Window, and of course the Darkest Shadow or whatever, and of course his other movie called Finding Neverland. That's a cool movie. I even got his other movie called The Tourist. Sure enough, I got the 3 movies by Channing Tatum called Dear John, The Veil, that's a romantic movie, and of course his other movie that's called Dog. Sure enough, I got the 2 or 3 movies by Channing Tatum as well called Magic Mike, and even the other movie he also plays in called White House Down that I believe that Jamie Foxx also plays in. And even the other movie called She's the Man. And sure enough, the 2 movies called 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. And even his other movie called G.I. Joe, that his version of is so far cool to me. I even got the 3 live version movies of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. Rampage is another heck of an amazing action movie by Dwayne The Rock Johnson that I also have, besides his other movie called San Andreas. Sure enough, I got between 5 or 10 movies by the nice and goofy actor Owen Wilson, who plays in his movies called The Big Year, or are you hearing his other movie called including his other movie called You, Me, and Dupree, and even his other movie called Wedding Crashers. It's another cool movie to me. Besides his other movie, I believe it's called Wonder. I even have the old stories of the two stories by him called Marley and Me. With me saying that, I love most stories about dogs, and so therefore I got me a good movie collection about to do with stories about dogs, including the dog named Max. That there's 2 movies of Max and Max 2, and even all the 8 movies of Bethel Oven, the silly character dog that's a goofy big old dog. Sure enough, this a live version movie of The Little Mermaid is cool to me, as well as the old cartoon version of the Ariel, the Little Mermaid is. Besides this live version movie of Clifford the Big Red Dog that I say that won't never get old of me or watching no matter how many times I see that movie. That's like Edward Scissorhands won't never get old of me or watching no matter how many times I see it by the old Johnny Depp once again. Sure enough, my own self love stories about war, and so therefore this movie right here is an amazing movie to me, a War Horse. Besides the war movies that Woody Harrelson plays in called 2012. I even got the other amazing war movie called 1972. The one movie by the Woody Harrelson that's another good war movie to me that he plays in is that I have done. It's called Midway. That's also an amazing story that ain't boring to watch, from my honest opinion. Even this is a heck of an amazing story right here. The Northman is a heck of an amazing movie, period. It goes up to 4 the movies I had by Mr. Kiefer Sutherland, the Cowboy Up, amazing movie, plus the one that him and Woody Harrelson once again plays in called The Cowboy Way. That's a heck of an amazing story. The Cowboy Way is one of them that won't never get old of watching, besides the amazing movie of The Cowboy Way by Kiefer Sutherland, and even this Forsaken amazing movie as well. And sure enough, this amazing movie called The Young Guns, it's another heck of an amazing movie by Kiefer Sutherland. Sure enough, this movie by Burt Reynolds is by far one of the number 1 best movies to ever watched by Burt Reynolds, Longest Yard. Plus this even a nice love story called Evening. I love stories that has to do with love, as in therefore I love movies, romantic movies. Here goes one amazing story about a dog and a boy with a dog that's his best friend, a dog riding on a skateboard with the boy that his best friend. Sure enough, all of these movies right here are all cool to watch. The story about the pig called Babe, and then the second one called Babe Pig in the City. And it's the old movie of Justice with You with all the real famous characters, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Superman, Batman, and whatever the other one's name is right there in the green costume thing. Here's this amazing movie that's by the Channing Tatum, The Lost City. Sure enough, I love this movie all because it has to do with it has the story about love, about the anyway, this has to do with the story about love, about the goddaughter to Miss Aurora and the Mr. O'Harris Dickinson that they call Prince Philip in the movie. That movie by Angelina Jolie that won't never get old of me or watching, as well as the other movies of her called Maleficent and whatever the other ones are called besides the first movie that's called Maleficent. Sure enough, this is another amazing movie that won't never get old of me watching, by Anne Hathaway, Ella Enchanted. Sure enough, that old cartoon Disney movie called Tangled is another good cartoon movie that won't never get old of me or watching. That's one of the kind of cartoon movie I love, besides all the stories of Toy Story and the whole collection of Tinkerbell and her friends. That's another nice cartoon as well. Sure enough, I love the cartoon shows of the Goofy, Tom and Jerry, and like even Rocky and Bullwinkle even more. That even nicer cartoon to watch versus Tom and Jerry that are entertaining, and most episodes are, and most of all the movies that they play in. But some of them episodes, from my honest opinion, ain't watching what that Tom and Jerry play in. This movie of the oldest cartoon version, the movie of the Sleeping Beauty, is by far the best version of the Sleeping Beauty movies that there is to ever watch. This movie by Patrick Swayze is quite a crazy, straight up a crazy movie, but yet entertaining, even though it's crazy from what he does in the movie with his old goofy self. Who plays in the other movie also had one called The Last Dance. For if it not being called One Last Dance, LOL. Sure enough, I got one other movie by Matthew McConaughey called Mud. That's a cool movie.